Now let's start off with introductions. As moderator, I'll go first. We'll handle our Boulder County team and farm it out accordingly. I am Akia Pichon, moderator for this event. We'll jump to Alex.
Alex Headright with Boulder County Transportation Planning.
Paul.
Paul Kwiatkowski, Boulder County Transit Program Manager.
Angel.
Angel Bond, Mobility for All Program Manager, Boulder County.
Maya.
Hi, Maya, Mobility for All Outreach Coordinator.
And our interpreter staff. Fantastic. Let's start off with new services. We're going to take it to Paul Kwiatkowski to introduce the updates for the Ride Gun Barrel service.
Okay, thank you, Akia. This is really exciting news for myself to introduce to everybody on this call. Coming soon is our new demand responsive transit service coming to Gun Barrel, branded as Ride Gun Barrel. The service area includes Gun Barrel and parts of unincorporated Boulder County. There's a description on the slide with the roads, but after this we'll have a map to show you where the service area is. Service areas are going to be 7 days a week, starting at 6 a.m. up until 7 p.m. It is free to ride, and it will be accessible by a ride request on a mobile app, an online portal, or a call center application, and that will be in both English and Spanish. This is a in-process map of the service area. There are still some minor tweaks to be made in that, but we wanted to show you the latest updated we have. This map is also available online at Boulder County Ride Gun Barrel, and as it's updated, it will be uploaded to that website for you, as well as more information coming about the service. You can see the dark green is the service area, and rides for Gun Barrel must start and end within the service area. Another service starting soon is our on-demand responsive service called Ride Southeast. And this service is going to link portions of unincorporated Boulder County and Superior, Louisville, Lafayette, and parts of Erie. Service areas for service hours for Ride Southeast are 7 days a week, 6 a.m. through 8 p.m. It is also going to be free to ride, and the same type of system for rides will be available through a mobile app, online portal, or a call center in English or Spanish.
Thanks so much for those updates, Paul. Just want to remind everyone to drop your questions in the chat if you have them, or hold on to them to the end.
Thank you. And this slide here demonstrates what the service area is. It's within the bold outline, and you can see that it incorporates all of some and parts of other service areas. So it's an exciting service because it'll allow people to go outside of the jurisdiction. Say if you're using Ride Free Lafayette, you'll now be able to go to Louisville or Superior, up to Erie, or anywhere within those outline service area, to include the Flatirons Park and Ride as well.
Another upcoming service we have is the Colorado 7 Transit Starter Service. In partnership with RTD and a lot of the municipalities and other counties along Colorado 7 between Boulder and Brighton, Boulder County has secured grant funding for 2 years of new transit service along the Colorado 7 corridor. This is going to be a new regional bus service between Boulder and Brighton. We are targeting a January 2027 launch date with RTD. RTD is going to operate this service. For the first year, service will be Monday through Friday from 6 a.m. to 8 p.m. And then in the second year, increasing to service 7 days a week. For those hours, service will be at every 30 minutes and using the standard RTD fare, $275 for the standard fare or $135 one way for the discount fare. This map shows the proposed stops. These are still being finalized, but approximately 16 stops between Boulder and Brighton along the Colorado 7 corridor, linking Boulder, unincorporated Boulder County, Lafayette, Erie, Broomfield, Thornton, Adams County, and Brighton. And also with a connection to the CDOT North Mustang North Line at the about to open I-25 and Colorado 7 Interim Mobility Hub.
Great. Now let's talk service changes.
So for the Mountain Ride service, this is a rural transit service that connects along the peak-to-peak highway between Ward, Nutterland, and Rollinsville. And what's new is as of June 1st of this year, we've reinstated the Wednesday service. So this service provides 2 midday round trips on Mondays, Wednesdays, and Thursdays. And this service is free to ride. And this map just shows the route with round trips beginning in Ward, heading south through Nutterland with several stops along the way, turning around in Rollinsville, and then with a second round trip later in the day, each day of service. And we want to thank Gilpin County for providing the funding that has allowed us to restore that Wednesday service for the duration of 2026.
This one's mine. Exciting update to the Lions Flyer. It is a commuter bus service between Lyons and Boulder. Currently running Monday through Friday, 6 a.m. to 7 p.m. Within the last 2 years, we added a midday run. It is free to ride this service, but very exciting. Through different grants, we will be adding weekend service. It'll be run on the same schedule, 7 days a week. Here too is a map of the full service from Lyons to Boulder, and the larger cutouts are the top of Lyons and the bottom of Boulder, so you can see all the stops accordingly.
Now let's talk recreational shuttles.
Boulder County operates 2 seasonal recreational shuttles. The first one is the Aldo shuttle. This is a seasonal shuttle between Boulder, Superior, several City of Boulder trailheads, El Dorado Canyon State Park, as well as the El Dorado Artesian Pool. This service runs Saturdays, Sundays, and holidays from 8 p.m. to 6 p.m. It's operated by Via Mobility Services. And the 2026 season runs from May 23rd until September 13th. This service is free to ride, and if you ride the shuttle to the state park, you do not need a timed entry reservation. This just shows the route map for the shuttle. So starting near Broadway and Baseline, heading south on Broadway within Boulder, then east on Table Mesa, serving the US 36 and Table Mesa station, as well as the US 36 and McCaslin station, and then heading west to the Marshall Mesa trailhead, with another stop at the Dowdy Draw trailhead, and then the pool and into the state park and back. And this service runs every 20 minutes on all day during those hours that were shown on the previous slide. The Hesse shuttle is our other seasonal recreation shuttle. This provides service between the Netherland High School and the Hesse Trailhead. From Boulder, you can also connect to the shuttle using the RTD Route NB. This service is operated by Green Ride Charter Services. Service runs on Fridays, Saturdays, Sundays, and holidays from 6 to 6 Fridays and Sundays, and then 6 to 8 p.m. on Saturdays, and then with varying hours on holidays. The service is also free to ride. And worth mentioning, both of the shuttles permit well-behaved and leashed dogs. And this just shows the area map for the Hesse shuttle with service from Netherland High School to the Hesse Trailhead.
Now let's talk project updates.
So our first project update is linking Boulder County. This is the countywide transit plan. Boulder County launched this planning process last summer. We conducted an initial round of public outreach asking members of the public about their needs, what's working well, what's not working well about transit service last fall. And then over the winter, we've been distilling those into priorities, goals, and a vision statement for this project. We held another round of public outreach this spring, connected with over 600 people over about 2 months, focused on reaching younger people, residents from more parts of the county, and non-English speakers. And one of the things that we heard is that having competitive and reliable service is the most important goal, and that improving existing service is a top priority. Many of you may have been seeing in the news that RTD is contemplating various service cuts for 2027. And so we are taking a temporary pause to the county transit plan project in light of the potential RTD service cuts. And once it becomes a little more clear what level of service RTD will be providing, then we'll be resuming planning work for how Boulder County could add additional transit service.
Now we can discuss mobility for all updates.
Yeah, so Mobility for All oversees a volunteer ambassador program. Our volunteers support us at events and help people in their community learn about transportation options, navigate transit, and use transportation-related apps like Google Maps, Uber, Lyft, things like that. Anyone who is interested in learning about transportation and helping others with transportation is encouraged to apply. And ambassadors get or receive Uber and Lyft credits or bus passes for their time and efforts, and yeah, get to help their community with this essential need. So yeah, if you can think of anyone that's interested or you yourself are interested, we have a more description of it on our website and a link to apply. Mobility for All also has information and assistance. You can call us, email, or text, and also set up an appointment online or even in person. Our new exciting news is we offer texting now, so just another way that people can communicate and connect with us. Anyone with any questions about transportation is welcome to call. We also get calls from someone's daughter who is trying to help their mom transition out of driving, or a friend whose friend is struggling with transportation. So, calling on behalf of someone or for yourself, we're happy to help with trip planning, connecting you with solutions that may fit your needs, and yeah, just providing information about all the options because it can be a lot to navigate. Our number is below, so make a note, and it's also on our website.
Great, thank you, Maya. So now I'm going to cover the RTD Live pilot program that Mobility for All is offering. So RTD has a low-income pass program, which applies to people who make 250% of federal poverty or less. And what that ends up being for a family of one or a household of one is $3,300 approximately a month, or for a family of three, $5,600 a month. So you can apply through the RTD portal. You can apply through Peak Connect, which is the online service where people apply for SNAP or Medicaid benefits. But if Boulder County residents apply for the LIVE program, then Mobility for All is offering 3 free months of RTD bus passes, which is a great deal. People who receive the RTD Live discount pay $27 a month for the bus passes, but we'll pay for the first 3 months. So how it works is people can apply for LIVE either through Peak Connect or through Denver Human Services. And then they get approved. They receive a yellow card in the mail from RTD. And then they share that card number with Mobility for All. And we provide 3 free months of bus passes. So if you know of anybody who could benefit from this program, please send them our way. And really the intent of the pilot is to incentivize people to sign up for the program. The next project that I'm going to talk about is a future pilot program. It's the RTD Access-Ride Certification Center. So in order to qualify for RTD's paratransit services, people need to go through a certification process. Currently, the vendor MTM oversees RTD's service of like certifying people for the paratransit service. They're currently doing an RFP, a request for proposals, for a new vendor to facilitate that service. And once they have somebody on contract, people with disabilities will be able to call RTD and schedule an appointment at a Boulder County location. So at the Southeast Hub in Lafayette. We will be hosting the vendor 1 time a month, at least at the beginning, for people to be able to go to a certification appointment a little bit closer to home. So this will probably be launched in October, depending on the timing of RTD's selection process. So please keep your eyes out or keep your eyes open for any updates through our newsletters or through social media. And we'll go ahead and just give a brief snapshot of some of the funding here. So Boulder County uses a bunch of different funding sources to fund our transit. About 6% is the Boulder County sales tax. We also receive some state funding, and also we get funding from the general fund, which is property tax. But overwhelming majority of the funding comes from the federal funding at this point. This is just kind of a snapshot of what the Boulder County sales tax actually pays for. So we have 5 different program areas that our sales tax pays for. It's transit services and programs, which we're giving you an update on today. Regional trails and commuter bikeways, regional corridors like State Highway 7 that Alex spoke about earlier, community mobility programs, which are the programs that Mobility for All implements, and then road safety and resiliency projects, which Public Works oversees those projects. I'm just going to go ahead and advance for the Spanish slide in case anybody wants to review those same buckets of funding in Spanish. At this time, that's the end of our presentation. I'll turn it back over to Kia.
Great. We have one question in the chat that has not been answered yet. This question is from Mr. Greenwald. He says, my understanding of the BOCO transit plan is to provide local services beyond RTD, not without, but knowing that RTD often has to cut services as their budgets ebb and flow. Why does the planning process have to pause if the idea of the plan is to operate the transit services that we need in Boulder County, again, beyond the services provided by RTD?
Thanks for that great question, Phil. Through the Linking Boulder County project, we're really trying to determine how we layer additional transit service on top of RTD. And with the normal ebb and flow of RTD services, that is somewhat straightforward. But with RTD contemplating up to 20% service reductions beginning in summer of 2027, that's a pretty significant change in the baseline level of service that RTD would be providing. And that makes it significantly more challenging for us to determine what level of service we'd be layering on top of. And so just with potential service reductions of that magnitude, we're finding that it's the best course of action to pause and let the dust settle with what service reductions RTD is going to make before we continue with our process.
Thank you for that reply, Alex. Just want to drop in the other previously answered questions into the feed, just in case people haven't had a chance to read them. There was a question of who will be the service provider for the updated Ride Gun Barrel and Ride Southeast services, and those will be provided by one company, Z-Trip LLC. And another question asked if there will be bike racks on those services, and yes, both both projects will have the vehicle that will allow bike racks, yes. And the slides will be added to the Boulder County website soon after the meeting. If we'd like to take any other questions, I'm more than willing to drop them to the floor. Okay, are there any plans to improve the discount for employers to purchase passes for their employees, maybe for nonprofit organizations?
I can go ahead and take that one. So RTD sets the prices for the EcoPass program, but Boulder County does offer a business EcoPass subsidy program. So I don't know of RTD necessarily lowering the prices for EcoPasses at this time, but we are going to be relaunching our business EcoPass subsidy program, which would include subsidies for nonprofits and small businesses, probably early next year. We did an equity analysis with a Masters of Urban and Regional Planning student to let us know how we could do better at administering that program. So Dixie will definitely include updates about that program on our newsletter once we're ready to relaunch that. So if you're interested, please let us know and we can keep you on the interested list until we update it.
Great. Someone would like to know if there is any plan to add bike racks on the Hesse shuttle or extending it to 4th of July trailhead.
At this time, we do not have plans to add bike racks since there are not really bike trails in the area that the Hesse shuttle serves. We have received a number of requests over the years to extend the service up to the 4th of July trailhead, but that poses some significant operational challenges due to how narrow the road is and the ability for shuttles to pass other vehicles, as well as requiring significant new funding to extend the route. So at this time, we do not have any immediate plans to extend the shuttle up to the 4th of July trailhead.
Great. Another question. Will pets or only service animals be allowed on on-demand services such as Ride Gun Barrel and Ride Southeast? And then posing that same question for the existing recreational shuttles.
Paul, I'll take that for the shuttles first and then turn it over to you for the on-demand services.
Great.
So for both the Hesse shuttle and the Eldo shuttle, our messaging is that well-behaved and leashed dogs, so pets, in addition to service animals, are welcome on the shuttles. And we do have a pretty significant number of dogs that folks take on the Hesse shuttle. So that is not at all uncommon.
And it will be the same as well on the 2 new on-demand services.
Fantastic. I'm not seeing any additional questions dropped into the chat just yet, but I do want to let everyone know, This boco.org/transit news link is where we get all of our, that's where you're going to find all of our information. Every update we have on these new services or existing services are going to find their way to that landing page. So go ahead and give that a click. Assuming we don't get any other questions, I will drop it to the rest of my team to see if they have anything that we have we want to add in last minute. Great. Well, it's been a great time going over all of these transit services with you all. I hope that this has been informative and helpful. Again, if you have any other questions or concerns, we are here. Feel free to click that link, or like Maya said, send us a text because we have that capability. Yeah, very happy to present to you all today. Thank you so much.
Thank you, Kia.
Thank you, everyone, for coming.
Thanks, everybody. Bye.
Thank you.